Kristen, how are you doing? Trying to make this thing work. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna see if I can actually figure out how to log myself in on my own iPad, right? So I can maybe see the comments a little better. What do you think? Well, I'm looking at other people's. Other people's are cool. Ooh. Let me see. Hi Fireball, you found me. All right, well I gotta figure out how to make myself go live on this thing. Heh. Oh, there it was. There we go. I might be able to see the comments just a little bit better scrolling on my iPad. So we'll see. Yeah, it's weird seeing myself in Dual Studio. So what are we working on tonight? Anyone working on anything? Any projects? Fireball, how's your cart coming? I see. I should probably move that down a little bit so I can see in both places. I don't know. I am working on my top. Look at this. Whoops. I will show it some more. Look at that. So that is down to my natural waist, which is wonderful. And really enjoying this. So I am at that straightaway knitting as fast as I possibly can to get this thing done in a timeline. And then it's a matter of doing some increases for the hips, because you know they're bigger than the waist. Go figure, right? Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to get that thing to advance. It's just like, nope, not gonna do it. All right, whatever. Try and look at helmets. Let's see. So the motor's completely, so Fireball says I got the motor completely taken apart and I'm gonna need need a new motor. That's expensive. Parts are not cheap. I know we've done some repairs on my son's truck and they're pretty pricey too. I think it's got like a 1988 something, you know, the kinds that you could actually fix and repair back in the day, you know, yourself. So I don't know, but that's his. I just thought it would be nice to come out here. Let me see, let me go down a little bit. I thought it'd be nice so you can see what I'm working on. I thought it'd be nice to come out here on the deck. That was so nice the other day. Just I could see behind me, you know, looking in the view, I could see as it started to sunset and everything. And it was like, oh, that's so pretty. I just enjoy that so much. It's just really nice. Yeah, just the finer things in life. Figure I'm gonna be knitting and enjoying myself anyway. I might as well talk and see what everybody else is up to. Just got home from work, so thought I'd jump on, right? You know, yeah. I think every day I try to wear something a little bit more outlandish, whether it's the shoes or the crazy clothing with the shirts, or as I call it, grandma jewelry. I mean, this stuff. Look at this. You hear that? Can you hear that? That thing just, you know. All right, so Fireball, you're looking at buying a 1954 Chevy Bel Air. I don't know if you should buy it or not. I have no idea what your finances are like. That sounds pricey to me, but by all means, go for it. If you've got the wherewithal and you know how to fix it, yeah, that sounds good. I personally am not mechanically inclined in that manner. The finer things as far as this goes. If it involves yarn, I'm all over it. I can knit, I can crochet, I can weave. Haven't done any weaving in a long time, but I can do that type of stuff. So that's enjoyable and relaxing, but not the mechanical side. But I still work with my hands because, you know, Mom always said idle hands are the devil's play shop. So, you know, devil's workshop. So always have something in your hands. Growing up, she didn't have a problem with me as a little girl watching TV. I mean, TV back in the day was not like it is now, obviously. It wasn't interesting. Hi, Missy. How do I brush my yarn into a wig without screwing it up? Well, what do you mean brush it into a wig? What are you talking about, like a worsted weight yarn that you're doing for the amigurumi dolls? I have done that. You can use some of those like finer dog brushes will work. Anything just kind of just giving that friction. I don't want to do it on this because this has a cashmere blend. I don't want to mess this up, but I have done that. Yeah. So if you were, what type are you working on? Like, so if you have like a worsted weight yarn, let me pull this out, like I'm doing for my dragon blanket. So Okay, so yeah, the dog brush will work. So this is a worsted weight yarn, and you can see on here, I can untwist this, right? So you can untwist that right there and then brush those out. Okay, so yeah, that would be perfect. A Karen 1 pound would be great to do that with. Oh yeah, so yeah, you got the, I have worked on it. This is my dragon blanket, so it is but larger. Oh, I was gonna bring back one of my tape measures. I have a pretty good collection. I have more than the rooster. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, I have a tape measure problem. It's true. I went yarn shopping, and you know, that's what I do, is I buy tape measures at the yarn store if they don't have other things that I'm interested in. So yeah, brushing out for the amigurumi, I have a hard time saying that word, but brushing out for that, if you have a 4-ply, like you said, the Karen 1 pound or jumbo, I would untwist those plies and then you can brush that out. A dog brush might work or something along that line to get that, because you're wanting that frizzy, but even untwisting it, oh no puppy, he's gonna eat my project. This is him wanting attention. Yeah, yeah. So doing something like that, and that'll give it some more dimension and color and everything, or not color, but more dimension even if you didn't brush it out. Just untwisting it will do that. You can untwist it and you can braid some of them and leave some of them plain, and that would be pretty cool too. Am I losing color on this? I don't know. My phone says it's dark. Hey, 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 hey. Yes, the puppy decides it's attention time. So, come here, buddy. We're gonna say hi. Yeah, so I've got a bag down below, and he's like, I'm gonna eat it. It's his new thing. It's like, oh, look at that. Isn't that cute? Look at him. When I'm driving home from work, and I'll call my husband, and he has it on speaker, and then this little guy will come up, and he's like, wait, I hear, where'd you hide her? Where'd you hide her? You hid her in that box, you know? Let's see. Oh, yeah, Susan. Yeah, Susan, a little bit like yours, coloring and everything. Susan's got a dog too, and this is very much more towards the coloring of her dog, as opposed to the other 2 Shibas are red. So those are not the same, that's for sure. But this little monster, he's something. He's a lovable little critter to me. He's our rescue. He is a Shiba, full-blooded Shiba, at least that's what we were told. But he's definitely our rescue puppy, and he went through some trauma when we got him. He was 5 or 6 months old. He had he always looks fiercer than what he is. He had gotten into maybe a fight or a tussle, is a nice way to put it. And he had part of his lip was bit, and bit clean through, so bit off. So he always looks like he has a snarl, even when he doesn't. And one of his ears was bit through clear, and he had a scar on his nose. And that was just as his puppy, so, you know, we rescued him from that situation, so he's our little monster now. And he's getting more and more lovable. Yesterday, unprovoked, I was able to hold him, and he laid down and took a nap in my lap, which is very unusual for this little guy. So he's getting there. He's about 1.5 years now. We've had him for over a year, and it's finally, he's doing this, right? But there's also coffee on the table right behind you, and he likes coffee. So yeah, Cody's a sable. Yeah, they call this, Susan says Cody, her dog, is a sable in color-wise, and they called this one for the Shibas a sesame color. So yeah, you know, there's some similarities. But he is addicted to coffee, and I mean, as you can see, look at this, right? That's why he's on my lap, because he wants to get at the coffee. Evidently, a dog, if they drink coffee, imagine that, their heart starts to race. Oh, really? Just like humans. And they get a little hyper attention and everything. Coffee and overabundance, oh yeah. They will talk about that as poisonous for dogs, but that's, yeah, see, coffee trees for, I know, but you know, don't read the internet. The internet says, you know, coffee's poisonous to dogs, but that's if they're eating your espresso beans. If they get into it and eat all of them, you get a little dog, their little heart's gonna explode. Kind of like us, if we go eat a bag of coffee, we're gonna have problems too, right? Yeah, I know, buddy, I know. We can't, no, it's mine. It's Mama's coffee. It's my coffee. Yeah, and I've got my friendship. I have my friendship mug that my friend Kim gave me. Stop. I should have known better than to bring coffee out here with me, because he's gonna be like that the whole time. Yeah, He's giving me this look like it's mine. So we have two, whoa. Our other male Shiba is also addicted to the coffee. And if you leave it down and he gets, right, exactly, Susan, that's what I was saying. Caffeine's not good for him. It makes their heart race, etc., the same as it does for people. But that doesn't mean that, just like us, it makes our heart race, but we're still drinking it. You know, so he's just as addicted, you know, whether you give it to him or not. It's not like I've ever left my cup down. I know you have. And that's exactly it. Onions are also bad for your dogs too, if you didn't know. And so are grapes. Those are some things that you probably shouldn't give your dogs. My husband used to feed the dogs grapes, but he didn't realize they were bad for him. I didn't either. We looked it up. I know poinsettias aren't good for them. I do know that. But then again, we don't have poinsettias in the house, nor are we trying to feed them to the dogs. Yeah, stop, buddy. Okay, okay. I have to drink my coffee now. He's giving me an evil eye. He is straight up giving me the evil eye. It is straight up, that is my treat. And why are you taking that? Why are you drinking that? Come here. Oh my gosh, that is funny. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck with it at the moment. Yeah, you're not supposed to have it. No, you're not supposed to. Oh yeah, he's about ready to leap. So what's everyone else working on? I've made a bunch of these little things. Look at that. I have a tutorial for this. Let's see. Well, I understand their bodies can't handle the caffeine, Susan, but that doesn't mean they're not going to jump into them. Oh, minions. Yeah, well, it's kind of the colors, right? Yep. 10-year-old vet tech says no coffee. Well, I know. Okay, so obviously your dog was after coffee, Susan, or you wouldn't have asked that question. I mean, you can't see him right now. He is just all over me. So are you using a pattern for your minions? Are you making a stuffy? Are you doing a design like a blanket or an intarsia knit or crochet or something like that? Hi, Kim. Look at that mug. Recognize that? Okay, so Missy's following by pics. So that's you're following, making a pattern using pictures, a picture pattern, or making it up as you go, just looking at something else and figuring out what you're doing. So, okay, so no directions. All right, Missy, have you tried different tutorials? Has that worked? Following somebody else's hand movements? Okay, that makes sense. Not everything has to be, well, of course, Susan, I have cream and sugar in my coffee. Well, no, cream, not sugar. But not everything has to follow a written pattern. A lot of people can't read and understand written patterns. It is a completely different language. All right, the coffee's done. I'm gonna put the coffee cup on the floor and he'll leave me alone. There. Oh my goodness. Kim, you missed it. We were talking about, as you saw, Arlo going nuts because I had coffee, and he is quite addicted. He has gotten some previously before we knew that it is bad for the dogs, and he doesn't understand it's bad for him and he's not supposed to have it, so there is that. And that's why he was just all over me, because, you know, I was silly enough to come out here in his territory with a cup of coffee. I mean, it's my bad, right? I shouldn't have done that. I should have known if I wanted a relaxing cup of coffee, it wouldn't be out on the deck with this wonderful scenery after work just hanging out. That's not where you go for a relaxing cup of coffee. Not with a little coffee addict around. That's for sure. Oh man, I just dropped some stitches on my lace. That's no fun. Drop stitches on lace. I can get it. 1, 2, 3. Pick it up, make it up. Haha. All right, all better. Hi, Crystal. I still have to work on getting all the information for the Nightbot. I haven't gone through that. I've been watching people's videos, but not instructional videos like that, where I have to pay attention to that, you know, would be helpful for me. Yeah, there is that. There's those types of things, right? But doing all of that. I'm feeling pretty accomplished. I talked about last week for the things we're making Thursday that I was going to do some flower embellishments, and I was able to do that, and that's what this is. And I have more of those that I used for my hat. So this is 3 rounds, very easy, very simple. Oh, you're working on the washcloth, Crystal? So very easy, very simple flowers, 3 rounds, super easy. I do go into it in detail on the tutorial and really showing and slowing down for the crochet stitches. So if you are interested in that embellishments, there you go. I hear Crystal's made a bunch of them, but I hadn't seen them. So hopefully I'll get a chance to see what her creativity has produced. Somebody else asked me, what do you use those little flowers for? So I put some on my hat, but little girls with the barrettes, headbands, things along that line. If you want to do the boho hippie style, put a bunch of them together and turn it into a belt. You can also string a bunch of them together and have a flower garland. All right, granny square tote. So the other thing too is any bags or any totes and everything that you make, you can also sew on a couple flowers, because these are 3-dimensional. You see that? So they do stick up, they do puff on their own. I did put all the extra ends on the inside, helping with that, you know, so why sew them in? If you're gonna sew them onto something, you're not gonna see that part anyway, so why bother? You know, pro tip, there you go. Yep, yep, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. Little rings, since they're tiny, right? That would be cute. Let's see, flower pattern to make my, oh, there you go. That's nice. I'd like to see that. Yeah, I've been looking at the videos. I haven't seen it pop. Did I just miss it? Or Crystal's talking about using that particular flower in something that she's working on. And I haven't seen that yet. Oh, if you haven't noticed, I am working and trying to read a lot of the comments and say what they are. I know you're probably able to do that too, but my sister watches these videos and she is blind. So when she watches them, I like it that she knows what's going on at the time too, since she's working on the audio clues. Granny squares. Cool, granny squares, your own design. So I have some, if you look back at some of my other videos, that I've got a blue granny square purse thing, bag that I was working on. I have to finish doing the lining on that. That one's my own design as far as that particular granny square. This flower is my own design. I started crocheting when I was 10, so well over 40 years ago. So I do a lot of my own designs, just kind of a crochet as you go. Patterns are great. I have no problems with patterns. My mom, also legally blind, made sure that I understood how to read patterns, understood what they were trying to say, but I also learned how to visually look at something and kind of make it similar, right? Make my own thing. Yep. Oh, well, Crystal's driving right now, so there you go. Hopefully that's just a text to drive, right? That type of a thing. Or at a stoplight, make sure that she's doing safe. So yeah, so some interesting things as far as that. That's one of the reasons why I talk about that, like with the blind and everything, with everything is textural. Probably why I like the yarns and crafting so much, because everything is on feel. With the yarns, like this was a part of my mystery box, and it is a superwash merino, nylon, and cashmere blend, 10% cashmere, very nice to work with. It's a fingering weight yarn, and I'm knitting it on size 5s. It's going to be in my hands for a long time. I'm going to be touching it and feeling it for a long time. And that's the same with your crocheting, whichever craft that you do. So if you can get a yarn that makes you feel good, you're getting a lot of dollar entertainment, right? You know, even if something is $20 or $30, yeah, that's a lot of money, but how many hours of enjoyment and entertainment is that providing? You know, now if you're going through $30, $40, $50 a day, you might have to work on it. But if you're taking that $30 something and it takes you a month to go through it, it's a pretty good value. So it's all in the way you look at things and work them out. I do know, and as we've all talked about, that is crochet takes up 30% more yarn. So if you are on a budget, you might want to learn to knit, right? Crochet some things, knit other things, right? So that does make a difference as far as that goes. We all know that crochet tends to be faster. Really depends on the gauge that you're using, the crochet hooks, the size of the yarn, but those types of things, it can be a lot quicker. For donating things, a lot of times, like the hats and the washcloths that we're working on right now, I've made all of mine thus far for donation have been crochet. I like the knit ones, but the crochet ones work up faster, and I'm donating them, so there you go. The hats that I've gotten done so far, I've done a couple of the hats, and those are knit. I do like the knit hats. I'll do some crochet ones too, but I do like the knit hats on that. Let me see, do I have... Nope. I do have another hat to show, but it's not down here with me. All I have is my dragon blanket and my top that I'm working on, so I'll have to show that one to you next time. So on the last live, I was working on a hat that was gray and pink, and that one is done. So maybe on my next video or something, I'll have to bring that in. Oh, and my sister says she wants to see those socks that are different sizes, so I'll have to do that on another one because I'm outside. I didn't put it in my bag, so there you have it. There is that. But, you know, she thinks it's funny to see my mistakes. Or at least hear about them. She just wants to hear people talk about that, of the size 9 sock compared to the size 13 sock, because, well, I was just a little tense. So what types of issues do you pull out your mistakes, or do you call them design features and just move on? How do you do that? Let's see. So how do you handle that? I've got quite a few things that I've worked on that I put some unintentional design features in. The socks that are, one's a size 9 and one's a 13, that's not the only time I've done that. I've done it for some of the other socks, and I've just left it. Yeah. Well, exactly. Kim saying that I always make the best of my mistakes. I try to. I definitely try to. Some things you have to fix. Well, you don't have to do anything, but some things, mistakes or whatever, you kind of have to work through, and others you can just gloss over and it's not a big deal. For knitting, I can drop down a lot of rows and I can fix things, but when it's a lot of lace, yeah, I don't have that. If you've ever gotten into brioche knitting, I've done a couple pieces. I don't know how to fix my mistakes in that. That's a you're gonna have to pull it out thing for me anyway. There are other people that are so much better than me and they can do it. Crocheting, I can generally fudge it depending on what it is, and make something work, or at least convince myself, or maybe work 4, 5, 6 inches past my mistake and then decide I can't handle it and have to pull it back. So yes, Kim, you have definitely seen that. You definitely pull your mistakes out. I'll try to gloss over it depending on what it is, or knitting or crocheting, work 2 or 3 inches after it, going, I can handle it, it doesn't bother me. And after 2 or 3 inches, it'll talk to me. You know, if I could make a decision in a timely manner, I would save myself a lot, but I can't make that decision in that timely manner. You know, as soon as you notice it, that would be smart. And then I get irritated at the piece and kind of put it away. Just like, you were naughty, like the piece did something wrong, you were naughty, and I put it away. No, we're not gonna play with it. Oh, and let me pull this up again. I showed it at the beginning, but this is my Mr. Yarn Challenge top, and I got some comments on it that neckline wasn't gonna fit. Oh yes, it does. And it looks, look at that, see? So when I first started it, I got that, it's like, oh no, that gauge is off, that's not gonna fit, that's gonna be a big boat neck. Nope, it works quite well. There you go. And that is down to, right now it's down to my natural waistline, and I'm doing some increases for the hips, and then I'll go ahead and be able to finish that off. So hopefully it will be done soon. Thank you, Kim. Kim said that it's beautiful. I am thrilled with it. It fits perfectly. It really does. I am just, it fits like a glove. I have recently lost a bit of weight, so that's why it fits so well. Missy says very nice. Yeah, so the you know, had I not lost that weight, it would fit somebody else. You know, it would definitely go to that, well, it'll fit somebody. It's just, it's a thing. It's it, and it's funny. I follow some other people here on YouTube and everything, like Cinnamon Stitches, Jennifer from Cinnamon Stitches, and she's had some health issues and she's completely changed her eating, which is fantastic. And she's lost over 50 pounds, and she's made reference to she still sees herself or looks at herself as very similar weight-wise, even though she's lost a considerable amount. And I think anybody who's lost a decent amount of weight, they still see themselves as whatever that starting weight was. And Kayla from Mama Kayla, she's also lost quite a bit of weight, and she's the same way. I think somebody who is subscribed to her sent her some pants or something. Somebody knew her pretty well. Sent her some things like 2 or 3 sizes smaller than what she was actually wearing, and she had no idea. She's like, oh my gosh, these things fit amazing. Well, yeah, because she was smaller than what her head said. Yep. You always hoped your work would fit me. Yes, Nicole. Hi, Nicole. You know, Nicole, you got a lot of my things for just that reason. You definitely did. So Nicole is one of my friends. She's no longer in Colorado, but she was in Colorado, and we had a local knit group together. And she was working on a sweater that had drop stitches, and she was just knitting on that, and beautiful, absolutely beautiful, fantastic work. And I'm looking at it, I'm just kind of looking over at her going, hey, what you got? And we know how I feel about gauge, whatever. So I'm like, hey, did you do a gauge swatch on that? She said, no, it looks good. I'm like, huh. So it was one of those that you're drop stitching so many stitches apart. So even though it looked like it was this big, and she's a tiny little thing, Nicole's tiny, right? And I'm a lot bigger. And then when you drop those stitches, the whole garment grows, and that's how you end up with your size. And I'm like, oh, so you're making me a sweater, right? You know? Hi, Carrie. So, oh, Carrie, I got a book today at Michael's that made me think of you. I'll have to show it. It's not out here. It's in my car. But I'll have to show that. So Nicole's working on this beautiful sweater. I'm like, yeah, you're making me a sweater. Lord knows I made enough stuff that ended up being in her bucket, right? But I think she did like 4 or 5 more inches on this garment, and then she decided to do measurements and then pulled it all out and made it to fit her. But oh yeah, that was 100% when she was ready to drop those stitches, that was gonna fit me, and we are definitely big difference on size. So gauge matters if you want it to fit a specific person. And Nicole says she remembers that well. It was funny. So Nicole and Kim's also online, or she was, I know that, we would exchange names. We had a knitting group, and we would exchange names, and everyone would have a mystery. You know, you would make something for that person, and we would be on Ravelry, and you'd favorite a bunch of things, and that didn't mean that the person had to make you one of those, but it gave them an idea of what you were interested in. And Nicole, I have to tell you, how many fingerless gloves did I make for you, Nicole? Yeah, Missy, it is a good idea. It's the knitting circle, the knitting friends, because you know, yep, Kim's still here too. So you know when you're in a circle like that, that the person is going to appreciate that gift. You know, not everybody is knit worthy or crochet worthy or weaving worthy or sewing worthy, whatever your craft is, because some people just don't get the time that goes into it, or they don't appreciate that. They're better off getting that Walmart gift card or Target or whatever, Michael's, you know, Hobby Lobby, doesn't matter. They're better off getting that store-bought gift than that thing that you spent all your time and heart and energy in, and they don't use it or they don't like it. I'm like that with my family. So I have 5 grandkids, and they know, the older ones anyway, the oldest one's 7, they know when it's time to come visit Nana, go put something on that Nana made. Go comment on it. They'll go into my yarn room, grab a ball of yarn and say, Nana, can you make me a bear? And they'll bring me a ball of yarn to make them a stuffed animal. They know this, and if they ooh and ah in the right way, they'll get more. If they don't, and they don't do those types of things, yeah, I'm not so interested in it. You know, does that make me a bad person? I don't know, you know. The girls have all gotten twirly dresses made with those cotton cakes and things along that line. Oh, Nicole did, well, you've got the pattern. So Nicole says that she lost her favorite white fingerless gloves. Didn't I make more than one of those for you? So your brother told you that more admissions money for nieces and nephews. Oh, no more money for the nieces. What was that? Brother told me no more for nieces and nephews. Oh, no more minions. Oh, okay. Yeah, the space was in there. No more minions for the nieces and nephews. Why can't you make any more minions? You can give them to somebody else. Or he just doesn't want you to make any more minions at all. I don't know. I mean, minions, I haven't made any minions, but why can't you make minions? I mean, might as well. Taking over the house? Well, I mean, there's worse things that can take over the house. I look at it like this with the craft. It keeps me off the streets. You know, I'm not street savvy enough to be on the streets. I'm just saying. I'm a little kind of, you know, I'm not totally country, but I'm definitely in the country. You know, we drive into the town and all the lights and the parallel parking. Yeah, we had to do parallel parking when I was in school, when you actually had driver's training and driver's ed and stuff like that. And I did parallel park. Yes, I can. I am not comfortable with it. I would prefer not to. So when you're in the towns and you start having the one-way roads and all the traffic and then the idiots that will honk their horns at you or try to pass you in your own lane, like Maryland, they will pass you while you're in your lane. You're like, they don't wait till you to move over, nothing. I'm not comfortable with that. I prefer a little bit slower life, you know, just a little more relaxed, as we all have our different things. Yeah, definitely more relaxed attitude. No, nothing like that. But I didn't realize how country I am. I mean, we don't have all the animals or anything like that. You know, we do have a nice little plot of land, but we don't have all that. I grew up with that. I grew up and we had chickens and ducks and geese, and we had a couple of horses. So it was our mini pets with the farms. So was that Nicole? Yes, but they were nowhere as excellent. So Nicole's commenting on making some fingerless gloves. I made some fingerless gloves for her and for Kim and I don't know, and for my sister Vivian, and a really very nice, pretty delicate knit pattern using a fingering weight yarn like this sweater. And they were very lacy throughout the hands right here, and then there was a cuff that went around this way that was part of it, and it was attached and you had like little pearl buttons on the side, so it was just really a statement piece. They were very pretty and very delicate. I think I made, Nicole, I think yours were white. I know my sisters were off-white. So I made multiple pairs of that particular pattern. It seemed to be a good favorite one. But things get misplaced. That's just how that works. Fall out of your pockets, get misplaced. It happens. Or they just wear out. I mean, you know, they get a lot of use, a lot of love, they get worn out. Kind of like socks, which I haven't made any socks this year. I'm behind on socks. I normally give about 10 pair of socks away at Christmas time. My kids get socks, their spouses get socks, my husband gets socks. Sometimes people get more than one pair of socks. I don't know, but it's at least 10 pair. It is the end of July. I have not made a single pair of socks. My family expects socks. They've already commented on socks. They've already given me the hints and talked about it. That's really, guys, hey, not right now. That's their favorite Christmas gift. So at Christmas time, I grew up and we wrapped everything. You know, we wrapped batteries. You know, so if you had a pack of batteries, that meant you got something good, right? Because something needed batteries. We wrapped wooden spoons. My mom got wooden spoons every year. We wrapped spools of thread because my mom quilted. So each spool of thread got wrapped. My dad, we got a wallet for my dad every year, and we used the same box to put it in. And he got that. So, I mean, when you looked at our Christmas tree, my opinion growing up, we looked like millionaires. I mean, that thing was just covered. Now, when you unwrapped everything, it wasn't really a lot, but it looked like a lot. You know, I got curlers. You know the sponge curlers, the sponge roller curlers? I got curlers every year. So those would be under there. Socks and underwear. Oh yeah, you had socks and underwear. All of that type of stuff, every single thing was wrapped, and it was wrapped individually. And you had so much to unwrap. And again, it wasn't a whole lot when it was all done, but boy, that tree was just, it was like a mountain, you know, of things. And it was just those happy memories as far as that. So I do the same thing with the kids and the grandkids. It might not be a lot of stuff, but it looks like a lot of stuff, you know. And for little kids, that's a visual. That's pretty amazing. So once everything is all unwrapped, I have a box that I put all my socks in, and then I pull that out, and that's when the excitement happens. And then they can pick through and pick their socks. The only rule is they have to fit. You can pick whichever ones you want, color-wise or what have you, but they have to fit. So my oldest son, he has size 13 feet, so obviously he's the biggest. So, hi Graham Cracker, how are you doing? So for the big feet, I'll make some specifically for him, obviously. And then one of my daughter-in-laws, her feet are like 6.5, so they're like kid feet almost, right? Little tiny feet. And I'll make some specific for her. But everyone else is kind of a range in the middle, so they can choose. They have lots of choices. I like oranges, so for some reason, orange is really predominant in my socks. I'm making them, whatever. And I like sparkle. So I have sparkle. And my son asked me this year, he's like, hey, can you make me a pair of sparkle socks? Well, yeah. Or, you know, make sure there's some that are his size. Yep, it's good to see you too. You know, make sure there's I'm like, okay, so I'm trying not to get some that are overtly girly, because I mean, he doesn't have to worry about his wife taking him because she's got the 6.5 feet and he's got size 9 feet. So, you know, they're not going to exactly swap. But I don't want them overtly girly. But maybe if I can find some sparkle hot pink or some sparkle neons, that'll do it. He won't care. That boy will not care. He will just rock it, you know. So something along that line, something just crazy. I've done some really, really fun colors. Yeah, that sounds good. Like my oldest son, when he was in the Navy, the only socks that he would wear obviously things in the uniform, but when he was no longer in uniform, you know, off time, he would wear my socks. And when he came back on leave, he brought back socks that needed to be fixed. He's like, hey, can you fix these? And there's holes in the heels because he's worn them to be threadbare. So I'm like, well, they're not gonna look as pretty. And he's like, I don't care. I'm like, okay, good. I can do that. I can put a patch on that, you know, has an ugly scar. I got that. So yeah, I have repaired socks for him, which I thought was really kind of funny and interesting, right? Has anyone else here ever repaired socks? I mean, you know, for that, yeah, I mean, that's crazy. That's something I never thought I would do. I don't know. Oh, we've got some other people online. You haven't seen this, so let me pull this up. So, progress on the dragon blanket, right? Kevin was suggesting that I take time and, you know, actually start sewing in some of the ends. He's right. Yep, so I'll start sewing them in. Maybe on my next progress video I might not have so much fringe. It doesn't bother me right now. Ends aren't really a big thing. It used to bother me more so. I'll go ahead and I'll take care of those. That's not an issue. This is slower for whatever I think with the way you're turning to do. Oh, this one, Missy, I've got multiple updates. This is the 3-in-1 Ice Dragon blanket. I don't have the pieces down with me, but on this, it's an amigurumi head. There's a big, the dragon head is 14 inches. And that's gonna go on here, right there in the center. And then the legs are 9 inches, and you've got 4 of them, obviously. It's gonna hang off the edge right here. And I don't have the wings done for the dragon, but everything is on here, sewn on. And this is 36 inches wide, and it's a little over 8 inches tall, deep, whatever at the moment. Obviously it's got a bit more to go, a lot more to go. And this is the dragon scale stitch. So each dragon scale has 10 double crochets in it, and it's worked on a row of lattices. So for each colored dragon scale, there's 2 rows. So that's a lot of crocheting. It eats the yarn. It definitely eats the yarn. Slower. It's definitely a slow project. It's harder on my hands with the twisting and the turning back and forth. So I have to put it down a little bit more often than I'd like to. I mean, I can knit for hours. I can crochet on other things, and it's not an issue. Crocheting with cotton for the washcloths, I can't do a whole bunch of those right away, but I think that's with a lot of people, just cotton in general, will do that because it doesn't have the give. But crocheting on my other items, I don't have that issue, so much so. So just fun thumbs. Changing the colors are tough, but it looks, well, it's not too difficult. You know, each one is 2 rows and you snip the yarn. I'm not really dreading tying in the ends. I just haven't gotten to it. That doesn't bother me in the least. It really doesn't. I know it's surprising, but it doesn't bother me. And I like the way this is turning out. Right now, it just, you know, it has very much, oh, turn it around the other way. It has the Game of Thrones look to me, you know. It just reminds me of something like that. Just, I need my chair with all the swords sitting next to it and everything, and you have this big, huge cape on with the scales. Yeah. So once everything's put together, I'll have feet right here hanging off, and then, you know, so many inches down, I'll have the other feet, and then you can have it offset. I'll have the head in the middle, but, you know, putting it on the shoulders. It has a big dragon head right here. So that's going to be fun. We'll see which child gets it, since I do have 5 grandkids, but they're in 2 households. We'll see if it stays with Nana for a little while and then goes to the kids. I mean, it should go to the kids. Well, you know, not everything needs to go to the kids. We have to have some fun things too, right? You can't just give everything away. I mean, aren't we all just big kids? I mean, is that not it? I'm a big kid. You know, I may be in my 50s, but I'm still a big kid. Still rocking it. That's my attitude. Who else does that? Age is a number. We got this. It's okay. We remember things. They don't. We got it. It's fine. So, Graham Cracker, I haven't seen all the Mystery Challenge videos. Have you finished yours? You were part of it this month, weren't you? Lori's challenge? I've already signed up for the August one. I did. I signed up for August. August is going to be spectacular. So if you're not already a follower, my puppy's just all over me. If you're not already a follower, you should follow Lori, the armchair chef. Yeah, she does some cooking stuff, but you know, she's more crocheting and knitting and all sorts of crazy things. And she's put on a mystery yarn challenge. And August is her 1-year anniversary. It's gone on for 12 months. I watched it for months and months before finally joining in. So she'll collect names of people who want to play, and then you send each other a box of yarn. And in that box, you're supposed to make something with all the yarns. You don't have to use all of the yarns. Some people are very generous, right? You know, so you don't have to use all of the yarns, but a portion of each one. So I do have something that I've made using all the yarns in one project that I got this month. But this was one of the yarns. And August is going to be crazy. She's already announced that she's got lots of giveaways and drawings. She's going to do a live where there's lots of giveaways and things along that line. So if you're looking for somebody else to follow and somebody who has a quirky sense of humor, I like it. I mean, I can't tell you how many times we're watching. You know, I'll have the podcast on and my husband can recognize different people now. Let's put it that way, right? You know, he's not necessarily watching, staring at what's going on, but he hears the voice and he can recognize. So I've got that on, and I can't tell you how many times he has laughed when I've had her podcast on or her channel on. So what are you working? So you haven't finished your but I didn't get it until the okay, so Graham Cracker's working on hers, but she didn't get her yarn until later, so she's still working on hers. What are you making with yours? So she's part of that challenge and is like, yes, I shall take that on, right? So on this one, I've got the hat done. I will show that. I'm still working on this, and then I have something else that I've made where I've used all the yarns. I got 4 different yarns. I got more of that limited edition from Lion Brand, and I got some of the cloud cakes, Caron cloud cakes, which I'd never used before. Really soft. That's a polyester blend, but I mean that's like a fleece. That is really, really soft. And I got some of the Craft Smart yarn, which is an acrylic yarn. I think that's a Michaels brand. I'm not sure, but it's, you know, it's one of those store brand type of a good workhorse acrylic yarn. And I got this fingering weight. So Justine, who's here in Colorado. Ooh, a zebra. Ooh, Graham Cracker's making a zebra. So Justine was the one that sent me this yarn, and she ended up with fingering weight yarn and uses a lot bigger yarns. She said she got it in a mystery box or something like that. She wasn't going to use it and sent it to me for the challenge, and I'm thrilled. I am absolutely thrilled. So I was real thankful she was willing to give this up. So that was pretty cool. I appreciated that. So Graham Cracker's making a zebra for her challenge, and that'll be interesting. So is it a pattern that you're following, or is it something that you've made up on your own? And what's everyone else working on? I mean, I've been working on this now for a couple weeks. This is aggressive. I'm getting a top for me. I wear a large XL, right? It is somewhere, yeah, it's in that range, right? I'm not a petite little girl. I'm not upset, right? You know? But to do a sweater, even a short sleeve tee in a month, I find that aggressive. That's just me. I mean, we've all watched, I'm sure I'm not the only person that you've watched. There are some of these people, I don't think they sleep. They don't sleep. Or how do they get all this stuff done? I don't understand. Yeah, I get crochets faster, but it's like, I think you made 3 Afghans and 4 amigurumis and you're working on something else and it's only been a week. I mean, I swear some of these updates are just absolutely crazy. Like, I don't understand. I always thought I was fast, but I feel like a snail. It's crazy. Yep, that is crazy. Oh, I think the dog's gonna leave me alone now. Hubby's getting ready to feed him. Yeah, he's funny. So it's a repeat crafter me. I'm gonna make each of the stripes. Oh, nice. Okay, so Graham Cracker's working on a zebra, and she's gonna make all the stripes different colors. So is that like that fruit gum when we were little? Right, you know, the one that you would, the fruity stripes that you'd put in your mouth and it tasted amazing for like 3 seconds and then it had no flavor? What was it, Tutti Frutti? Is that what you said, honey? Tutti Frutti. My husband, the peanut gallery in the other room. It's Tutti Frutti. Come on, you remember that. Yeah, it was great. It had the zebra on the cover and everything. And I mean, for kids, we were on it because it was bright and it was pretty and it was colorful. Okay, yep, so she's saying exactly. Yeah. We had different types of candy when we were younger, you know. We definitely had stuff that they can't sell nowadays. Like, who remembers candy cigarettes? I remember candy cigarettes. Yep, you get those out, and you could, they had like a powdered sugar on them too, and when you blew on it, they had a puff of like a powdered sugar swirl that came out of it, and then it wasn't like powdered anymore. So it was this white, hard, chalky kind of a stick candy, and that had a little red tip. And my husband's laughing. They didn't taste good, but you shush. You're older than I am. You're older than me. So they didn't taste good, but Graham Cracker said they were great. Oh, I loved them. I didn't like the flavor of them necessarily, but you know, as a kid and it was sugar, didn't care. And ate them anyway, but I was cool. I had a cigarette, right? Like mom did. I had a cigarette, like everybody had cigarettes then. I'm not a smoker. I've never been a smoker, but I'm telling you, as a kid, those candy cigarettes, or the little wax bottle cap, the little bottles that were like this, they were wax and they had like a Kool-Aid type substance in them. Those were fun. So you'd bite the top off and then you drink the little liquid, Kool-Aid type liquid out. It wasn't really Kool-Aid. Yep. And Graham Cracker's like, those are cool. Those were great. And then you could chew on the wax. Yep. Good night, Missy. It was really nice that you were here. Thank you so much. But yeah, you would chew on the wax and everything as far as that goes. And those were good. The wax had a good flavor to it too. But we had different candies. You know, that's when you had penny candies that were pennies and everything. And the peanut gallery saying it's because I'm old, whatever. I say, he's older than me, it's okay. What's your alternative, right? It's fine. Yep. See, I'm this old and I've been blessed. We've got children, we've got grandchildren, we've got people around us that love us and care for us. I mean, that's a blessing, right? You know, I don't mind being old. That's what it takes to have all these things. I'll be old. Oh, so Cooper's telling Fireball to buy the Chevy. Cooper, are you the one that's selling the Chevy? I'm just... So buy it and work it. So Fireball doesn't have a channel or anything yet, but if you do buy it, you should probably have a channel and watch us and show us what you're doing to fix that up. You know, something, I don't know if any of you, I don't know if any of you have watched fixing up car shows and things like that on YouTube. If you do, check out Vice Grip Garage. It's a funny show. I'm not into cars like that, but I watch that one. Yep. Yes, I am in my 50s. Gregor's like, I don't get it. Yes, I was born in '69, so yeah, I am definitely in my 50s. My birthday is next month. Yep. We used to have a '65 Mustang, so Cooper had a '56 Bel Air. Yep. So we had a 65 Mustang convertible, and we ended up having to sell it when we had the third kid because we didn't have enough room in the vehicle to have our kids. You know, kids came first, just gonna say. Yep. Grandpa said I'm a baby. Yeah. Yeah, I talk about it and everything because they'll say that at work. It's like, oh, you're just younger. I'm like, you do realize I'm older than you, right? Yeah, but you don't look it. I'm like, okay, but you do realize I'm older than you. Oh, okay, Grandpa, happy birthday. Yours is the 2nd of August. Mine's the 13th. Yep. And Susan says we can still buy that particular, the old type candies at Pat's in Catonsville, Maryland. So they do have stores that you can get that. And I know I'm in Colorado and there's a local little candy shop for me that does have some of the more vintage candies. So you can still go down Nostalgia Lane and check them out. I don't know if they would be as good. Do you guys remember when Hostess was going to get rid of Twinkies? You know, they're like, okay, and then everyone had Twinkie parties and Hostess parties, Twinkies and Ding Dongs and things like that. And, you know, because they were going to be gone, you weren't going to get them again. I went to a friend's house and they had their whole counter was full of Hostess things. And I got one of the Twinkies and that was gross. You know, I loved them as a kid. They were great. Happy early birthday to you too, Greg Gregor. But Twinkies as a kid, if you got Twinkies, because you know money, right? If you got Twinkies, you were like all over it. That was amazing. Those were fantastic. Those are the most disgusting things ever. I had that thing, and it is the little ones, right? There was no, and it wasn't like it was stale. It wasn't stale. It was just, woo. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? That's some thunder. No, so it wasn't. If it starts coming, I'm gonna have to go in. So Minnesota has candy sale, huge, all kinds of vintage candies, and Graham Cracker. Oh, okay. So Graham Cracker recently tried the wax bottles that we were talking about, and so they were awful. I'm sure they were, but as a kid, oh my gosh, those were amazing. Just like Twinkies were amazing. Those are the most disgusting things, you know. Although, if you go to a fair and you can have a deep fried Twinkie, I'm not gonna lie, I'd try it. 100% I would try it. You want to deep fry it? I will try that, right? But just the plain Twinkie by itself, it had no redeeming qualities. Nope. Twinkies are not made with the banana cream. Oh, is that what it is? So Cooper says they've changed the recipe. And Pop Rocks are still good. Are they? Huh. We'll have to have a candy party, right? You know, I know everyone does all the different tastings. We'll have to do something like that. Bye, Kim. Thank you so much for joining me today. I get that. I got to make dinner later too, but I don't want to. My husband's like, yeah, I know she doesn't want to. I got to cook. I know. I don't want to cook right now. I don't know what I'm going to make tonight. I have no idea. Had cabbage and carrots and sausage yesterday. It was so good. It was, and lots of butter. Oh yeah. Not afraid of the butter. I'm telling you, I'm not afraid of the, I had the one dish and I had over half a stick of butter in there. It was so good. And I had leftovers for lunch today. It was amazing. It was tasty, right? Simple dishes, right? You know, I mean, you look at it, we eat nowadays processed stuff, weird stuff, right? Things we can't recognize. The old timers, see, butter makes everything better, Cooper. But they cooked with lard. Everything was cooked with lard. It was cooked with real butter, and it wasn't margarine, and you didn't skimp on it. And it was throw the stick in there, half a stick or whatever. And they didn't have the health problems. They didn't have the weight problems. They didn't have the diabetes problems. They didn't have the you name it problems, right? Because I don't know. So maybe it's what we're eating. Who knows? But I just know that what I ate yesterday was Fantastic. You know, half a stick of butter and one dinner for two. Yep. That cabbage was amazing. A little salt, a little pepper. There you go. Good eating. Yep. Hi, Lori. I was just talking about you. So Lori is on. Lori, the armchair chef, she is on, and she is the person that we were talking about hosting the Mystery Yarn Challenge. And Lori, look. And this top right now, it goes down to my my natural waist, and I'm just doing that straightaway knitting. This is the fingering weight yarn I got on size 5s, and I am just trying to power through this since you announced the August one, and I was crazy enough to say, pick me, I want to play. So there we go. Yep. So Lori just got a pair of bright hot pink neon-ish type of, oh yeah, knitting takes a while. Yes, it does, Lori, on fingering weight yarn, size 5s. Yep, I'm a little crazy. Yep, it's a thing. So she just got some really, really bright pink sneakers that she's wearing to work, and her coworkers don't know what they should do about this. She works at the post office, and she just transferred positions, so they don't know her personality yet or what to think about with her yet, and she's thinking she needs to do a crazy sweater. I like to think that maybe she saw my crazy shoes. I had some neon yellow and pink shoes, and with really thick soles that I've worn to work, and you know, I like to think that maybe I've rubbed off on her, but probably not. But that's my story, right? She's commenting she needs to make a sweater to go with it. I think she does. She should make something really bright, really fun. Ooh, I'm feeling some rain. I don't know. I might have to go inside because you know it's out here and it's Colorado. If it comes down, it's good. You hear that? Oh my goodness. It's gonna so when it starts coming down too hard, we're gonna do an abrupt stop. Otherwise, I'm just out here in the rain. You still haven't worn your Taco Tuesday leggings? Oh, see, I don't have anything like that. So I don't wear leggings, right? That's just me as a personal. We all have our different things. I think they're fine for other people, and I think that the women that do the leggings and the boots and maybe the long shirt and everything, I think it is the cutest thing ever. But I'm just not, for me, I don't feel comfortable in doing that. But I've had some pretty crazy leggings before. I had some with big unicorns and stuff on them. My daughter-in-law thought they were awesome and she took them. You know, I'm like, okay, well, you like them, you can have them. But that I don't have necessarily the guts to wear to work. But I didn't have a problem wearing my neon shoes and my almost circus clown handmade top with all the stripes and everything with all the neons. That didn't bother me. And I've said before, my boss, he wears 3-piece suits to work. Not a joke. Like every day. That he is dressed to the nines on a daily basis. So we go into the meetings and I'm in neons and brights and everything else. Hi Frenchie's Bible. Hi, how are you doing? So I'm in these neon brights and we are just like so opposite. Just completely opposite. And I think it's the funniest thing ever. I really do. Hi Deb, how are you doing today? But I might have to, I know it just coming in, I might have to move inside. We've had a lot of thunder going on and it's kind of sprinkling a little bit. So, so as soon as it comes down too much, I've got the bag ready, I'm gonna have to go in. But I do like being in the different atmosphere where I can wear all the brights and be quirky and be crazy. And that's why it's like, look at this, listen to this. Can you hear that? This thing makes so much noise when I walk. You know, and doing the chaotic in something like that. Do you hear that? I wonder if any of that's actually coming through. I'm gonna unplug this. I think I need to head in. So Deb had a 67 Mustang, was her first car. We had a 65 Mustang convertible up until we had 2 kids. And then we sold that and had to get something that, you know, would fit all 3 kids because I was pregnant and the kids came first because it's weird that way, right? Yeah. So you guys sprinkled on at noon. Yeah, it's starting to come down, Lori. I'm gonna grab my stuff and we're gonna see if I can do this. So Lori's in Utah, I'm in Colorado, so we're close. Lori, you know, we have a timeshare in Utah. We really do. And we Salt Lake, yeah, Salt Lake. We should next time we go to do that, we should, you know, like see about meeting. Oh, let's see if I can do this. Oh, it's coming. Miss the view? Look at that. This is my back balcony. My back porch. All right, yeah. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. I'm sorry, everyone. Close your eyes if you get sick from motion sickness or moving. So, there we go. Lori, we talked about doing that. Coming to visit Utah, over July 4th. My anniversary is the 2nd of July, so our timeshare is that week, but we can change it. But it's kind of funny because my husband's not too keen on all the fireworks. We're both military, and you know, he was actually in Iraq and in a vehicle that got hit. So the whole fireworks exploding and everything, it's not really a fun thing for him. One year we went up to Salt Lake and we had the timeshare. We didn't leave the room the whole weekend. They had the fireworks going on. We watched them before. They had the fireworks going on and we're like, we're just gonna stay in. So going up to, you know, the camp and everything right there in July, you don't have the snow, you can do all the hiking. I'm not crazy about all the snow. I don't particularly like the cold. And Utah gets cold. Yeah, graham cracker, thanks. You know, had to walk in. It's like, oh no, maybe I'm all wet. It was starting to come down. But Utah is cold. You've got some beautiful property in Utah. I mean, you've got the mountains and everything. It's really, really pretty. But it is a cold, bitter cold. I was at Camp Robinson and everything, yeah, training camp and everything. And you're there and you're walking for classes and stuff, and I did not pack enough clothing. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, the military gear. And you're in the barracks, the big, huge open bay barracks and everything on bunk beds, twin beds, like when you were a kid. Yeah, you know what I mean, right? So, okay, so Lori did that Pioneer Days, yeah. So we did that, and you're on the bunk beds. And these are cinder block buildings, you know, so they don't have all the heat and everything. And you're in your sleeping bag, and you're got your head under there, but then you can't breathe. So then you're trying to just stick your nose out and everything and breathe, and you don't want to move. And when it's time to get up in the morning, you don't want to get out. You don't want to move, right? And then, of course, with the military, you don't have private shower, or at least not in the training schools. You don't have the private shower, so then you go into these big open bay showers and stuff. As far as that goes, you're like, ah. I came back, I was telling my hubby, it's like, I was joking with him. I said, honey, I think I've seen more boobies than a porn movie, you know, because everyone's got to be where they've got to be, right? Yeah, that type of thing, you know, modesty, it's a thing. I am modest, but, you know, it's not like you had the ability to, you know, just go do what you needed to do. Fun times, fun stories, right? The things that we go through. It's a thing. It's a thing. But, yeah. Oh, so if you're wanting to, since Lori's on everything, I'll go ahead and pitch for her too. Definitely join her channel. It is Armchair Chef. I'll put the link in here too. But she's got her 1-year anniversary for the other people that have just joined us and jumped on. With the 1-year anniversary of the Mystery Yarn Challenge, she'll be sending out names in a couple of days. So you need to let her know, email her pretty much immediately, and that you want to play along, and you'll send a box to somebody. She'll give you the name. And they'll and somebody else will send a box to you of yarns, and you've got roughly a month to make a project. You don't have to knit it, you don't have to crochet it, you know, do something with it, right? You can knit, crochet, weave, do something with that yarn and make a project. And at least one project has to use all the yarns. Lori, I did it for this month. You haven't seen it yet, but I have done it. But one project has to use all the yarns. You can make multiple projects, but one thing has to use all the different yarns. That's the challenge of this. And it's a lot of fun. It really is. So she does a really good job. So if you want to join something chaotic and fun and quirky, now's the month to do it, because with the 1 year, she's doing some giveaways. She's doing a bunch of other things along that line that she's announcing. And she got some of the Lion brand Santa sacks. And she teased us. She told us that they have different yarns in them, but she didn't show us the yarns. That's gonna be prizes. So I think she said she has like 5 bags or something crazy like that. So she's planning on sending out a bunch of stuff. So if you wanna play along and have fun, check her out. Be a lot of fun. So there you go. Yeah, I'm still, transition, and I'm still working on this. This thing is in my hands almost constantly. Did you see this? Did you see how tiny these stitches are? Did we show this? Did we look at this? Let me see with the lace and everything. Look at this. Look at this. Did we look at how tiny all these stitches are? I mean, those are not big stitches, right? This is small yarn. And that's a lot. That's a whole bunch, right? So it's in my hands a lot. You know, what I call it are stolen moments, right? I am now at that part where it's just plain knitting. It's kind of like when you're getting comfortable with the granny square and you just continue to get like, it's 3 double crochets, skip a space, 3 double crochets, just keep going and everything. Yep. So I'm doing that right now. And then I've got these little markers right here. And that just shows me, here's the right side, that just shows me right here, I've got 19 stitches in between, and that's where the lace is. Everything else is just monotonous, just around in a circle, and ignore it, and it's easy, it's comfortable. It's the same rhythm that you have with making granny squares. There are people, I've seen, hey, I have watched some of these channels. There are some of these ladies, and gentlemen for that matter, that just grab hold and they will have a conversation with you, never look down, never look at their work, and you're like, how much did you just get done? Oh yeah, I just got 12 rows. I just did this, I just did that. You know, I mean, your hands know, especially with either knitting or crocheting, your fingers know after you've done it for a while where the stitches go and how it works. So there is that, right? That makes a difference. You just keep working. Oh, I just lost my throat. Okay, puppy's down there sleeping. Oh, the puppy has one of my flowers. Imagine that. I'm gonna grab it so he doesn't eat it. Can I have that, buddy? It's a little wet. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure if it's from the rain. Oh, that's definitely what's in his mouth. Yeah, because he took the thing off. Oh, pro tip on these, right? So this is only 3 rounds. I do have the tutorial, but when you cut the yarn for whatever color's the middle, leave a long tail, use this to sew around the center and attach that to whatever you're attaching it to. There you go. You have less ends to sew in. There you go. That's the pro tip for the day. Oh, are you guys interested in other tutorials? I mean, that was the first one that oh yeah, snag my yarn. That's the first one that I put online, but, oh, he's going after my other ball yarn. But I can definitely do other things. I just need to know what you're interested in, either learning or seeing somebody to make or something like that. Just let me know. If I'm able to, I can do something like that. Just fun times. I know there's tons of tutorials out there. Oh my goodness, this community is so talented. I mean, the amount of things, either knitting or crocheting, the things that we can come up with yarn, or the discoveries that we make with the different yarns, I mean, that is just, I don't know, that's pretty cool. Okay. I'm gonna pull my iPad up again so that way I can see the comments a little bit better. Since I closed it when I came in during the rain. I prefer to be out there, but I don't really want to be wet. Yeah, there is that. Oh, there we go. There, okay. So now I can look down and look up and still have the comments, and that'll help out immensely. There you go. Well, you know, Graham Cracker is saying that we're fiber artists and we love the tutorials. Yeah, I look at tutorials too. I really do. It just depends on what I'm trying to make. There's a lot of different designs out there. Let's see. Everything Cuppa, something along that line. Hey, Montreal's in the house. Hey, Kevin, how are you? I just talked about you a little bit earlier. Kevin was making the comment that I will work on all my fringe. You were saying that I should work on, you know, putting that fringe in as I get to it. And then also, so Kevin's ideas and everything for working on that is set aside about half an hour a day or something along that line to work on that. This is more fun, so this is what I've been working on. You know, work on the blanket, and also taking the breaks, which is something that we don't tend to do. And on that particular thing, I really need to do that because it does bother my hands more than any of the other projects that I work on. So very good advice. And yes, I did do that. I put a couple rows on there and then I set it down. I think next time I pick it up, I'll probably go ahead and start working on sewing in some of the ends. What are you working on, Kevin? Graham Cracker's working on her zebra, and she's making the stripes different colors for her mystery yarn challenge. So what's your project? And I don't know what Lori's working on. Sometimes I need inspiration, others I want to learn or need a pattern. Well, yeah, Graham Cracker, one of the things that I like to do too, I look at it, I make a lot of doubles. A lot of people, they make one of something and they never go back to it. I make a lot of doubles or even triples. And here's my reasoning. If it's a new pattern of some sort, whether it's a hat, not necessarily socks, I do just the plain socks now, but a hat or the fingerless mitts or anything along that line, when I'm finished with it, I don't know necessarily what to jump onto next. Oh, okay, so Kevin's got a lot on his needles and hooks, a shawl, hat, socks, and a blanket. Oh yeah, you've got a lot going on. So when I finish the one item, I'm ready for the next item, but don't necessarily know what to cast on, either on the needles or the hooks. So I'll cast on and start that second of the same item, whatever it is, because the pattern's already in my head. So I'm not struggling with it. I'm not trying to figure out what the next thing is. And that's why I have a lot of doubles. A lot of people don't like to do that. And the second one I find is faster than the first because I've already worked through the problems. Yeah. So that's just my way of doing it and looking at that. Yep. And I also have a lot of things that I work on. I don't always count them. You know, when people say, well, I've got 5 whips. I don't necessarily count them. Okay, so Lori has a honeydew bucket with projects and places of paper to draw when she wants to start a new project. And Kevin is a crocheter still struggling with knitting. Hey, you're making beautiful things with yarn. I don't think it matters. And Lori also has a playlist that she has where she has, yep, Lori, that's exactly what I was talking about. You can look at that. So she has a playlist for her quick and easy projects she makes that she wants to follow. They're not necessarily things that she's done and designed, but they're other tutorials that she follows. And she's done a lot of searches for easy or beginner or something along that line to crochet. And she'll go and pick that. And I think she's done it before where she's maybe numbered them and done a random number picker, and then whatever it says, then she'll go to that particular tutorial, whatever number that is, and then start working on that to kind of randomize it and make it a little bit more fun. So just different ways of looking at things. I thought that was kind of cool. I just realized, what was it, like 2 days ago, I can save videos. I didn't know I could create I'm sorry, I'm weird that way, I guess. I didn't realize I could create a playlist and everything and going, oh, I want to watch this. I want to watch this later. Yep. Graham Cracker said she has more whips than Carter's got pills. That's funny. So Kevin uses Ravelry a lot for his next project in the queue for that. I do save a lot of things on Ravelry that I want to work on, and I use it as a lot of pattern inspiration and resources. I have some of the original crochet magazines that are like 40 plus years ago. Yep. So Lori's laughing at me because she's got tons of playlists and everything, and I just learned how to use them. I'm like, oh. So I added one time, I pulled out all of my, yeah, see, Graham Cracker, we can do that. I didn't know we could do that either. And she's talking about making the playlist. So I pulled out all my books and all my magazines that I have, and I have some of the original Crochet, Fantasy, and Magic Crochet, and these are definitely vintage crochet magazines, and they're not in Ravelry. If you can get them, they might have the cover picture. You can put the cover. Hey, buddy, I'm on a live. So you can put the cover picture or something, but they don't have all the other things. So I've got these doilies and tables. Now they call everything a mandala. It's not a mandala, it's a doily. I don't care that you put it on your wall, it's still a doily, right? You know, that's what that is, right? Good night, Susan. It was nice talking with you. But I have all of those, and I was wondering if anyone's interested in going down memory lane with me and pulling out a few of those older magazines and seeing some of the different styles. The vintage woman is amazing. Her patience is credible. So who's the vintage woman? Did I miss something? And Carrie, it's been nice talking with you and everything. Yeah, I've been jumping on as many of your lives. And it's funny, Carrie, I'll grab on your live while I'm at work and leave that on for as long as I can. I can't really comment, and I'll have the volume down really low, but I know it counts towards watch hours and everything as far as that, but I'll pop on to say hi, you know. And I've done that, and I've had it on in meetings before too. Yep. So you've got about 20 playlists on YouTube, Graham Cracker, and then the different cues. That is interesting. Yeah, I just didn't know that I could do that. You know, live and learn, right? I'm learning a lot of things. Yep. And yeah, Carrie, it's been nice talking. Carrie has her own channel also, and with hers, she has a lot of lives. It seems like they're about every morning or close enough. And it's a lot of fun to pop into. She's done different things. I've been on there where it's she's done bingo, sometimes with prizes, sometimes without prizes, but they're a lot of fun. Kevin, can you, because I don't have Nightbot set up, can you pop that on, or her link or something like that as a comment to one of my videos so I can find that? The vintage lady? That does sound pretty fun. I would be interested in seeing that. Or pop it onto here on the comments and everything. I might be able to come back to it. That would be helpful. I don't know if you can pop it on here because I haven't got Nightbot to work yet. I haven't looked into all of that stuff. Oh, Lori, who's going to be with you on your live? You mentioned you're going to do a live and do giveaways and everything. I got to be on your live last time, not like with you personally, but I was part of it, and that was a lot of fun. So who are you going to get? Have you thought about it yet? Depending on when you're doing it, I might be available, right? We're in the same time zone at least. Might make sense. So if you haven't got somebody in mind or what have you, that might sound fun. Or, well, it does sound fun, but you might already have somebody else in mind. That's cool. Fun times. But so I'm still working on my Fun Size Friday series with all the little mini critters. I do have a giveaway. Which one? Lori, are you looking for Carrie's channel, or are you looking for the Vintage Lady? Let me know. I can hook you up with Carrie's channel, and Kevin just gave the Vintage Crochet. Thank you, Kevin. So you can click on that and everything and find that one. Okay, yeah, Kevin just did that one. So that's helpful, right? Oh, fun times. There you go. But yeah, I would like to jump on with you on a live, Lori. That just sounds like a lot of fun. We can see what we can work with, come up with something. Just let me know. And like I said, Carrie has quite a few lives if you're looking for the different lives that you can jump on. Hers are in the morning. I mean, yeah, she's East Coast, I'm not, but I mean, for me, they're definitely in the early morning time periods. So that's been enjoyable too. Lori's just done a few lives. Lori also does taste testings and other things. She has a lot of fun as far as that goes. So it's not just knitting and crocheting. She has more of a diverse channel. So, and she's done a lot of donating for, like, Rose Likes to Crochet, and she's done things along that line. So, you know, just joining in that yarny community, does shout outs, helps people out. Yeah. And as I like to say, has a quirky personality. Lori, my husband, has laughed at your videos I don't know how many times. So there's just something about the way that you tell stories that he finds quite humorous. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's just the quirky sense of humor. And, you know, that just makes you who you are, and that's just a wonderful thing. But he has laughed a ton. So, it's just fun times. Oh, Kevin, you were talking about learning how to knit and everything. So when you do get that down, you'll be able to make projects for potentially less money, since knitting does use less yarn than crocheting. Yep. See, Deb says Lori's great. Yeah, Deb, it's taken me I don't know how many months to finally jump on for the Mystery Yarn Challenge. I don't know how many months. I don't know if I was watching it from the very beginning, but yeah. Okay, so Lori's talking about different channels. I don't know if I was watching Lori, your channel from the very beginning when you were doing the Mystery Yarn Challenge, but if not, it was pretty doggone close. I've been watching you for quite some time and just didn't want to jump on that bandwagon. I think it was on your live that you were like, no, jump on, it's okay, you can do it. You don't need a channel, just send pictures, it's okay. Yep. No, I've just been doing my videos, I just started. I'm brand new, right? I'm a baby in the field, right? This is all brand new, you know? I don't even know how to make playlists. The yarn and knitting are in time. Oh, okay. So Kevin, the yarn's not been nice to Kevin. So his yarn and knitting needles and everything are in timeout. Yep. So that's sad. So Kevin, you're obviously a crocheter and learning how to knit. So have you heard people talk about the continental style or throwing? I was a crocheter obviously first too, and taught myself how to knit. And I'm the continental, and that's why you'll see I'm just picking, right? And everything's quicker as far as this goes. And I find that people who've taught themselves, oh yeah, I mean, Lori, I mean, I've been shouting you out all over the place. I've been having so much fun with this Mystery Yarn Challenge. I've been telling everyone about it. But I find that people who, oh, Kevin, definitely join in. That's fun. You don't have to knit or, I mean, you make things with yarn. That's all you need to do. And this is her 1-year anniversary for the Mystery Yarn Challenge. You really want to be part of this. She's already teased all the different, some of the different prizes she's going to have, and she's got new players coming in, and it's just a lot of fun. And you know, join in with everyone. But with the knitting, with holding your yarn, I think that somebody who crocheted like you first, it's natural for you to just hold it in your left hand. Unless you're a left-hander, and that I don't know. But it's just a natural movement. So you already know how to hold your yarn. So that's half the battle. Most of the time people talk about that with knitting. It's like, I can't deal it. I gotta hold my yarn and 2 sticks. Are you kidding me? But you're already holding your yarn. So the thing that you have to do is figure out how to hold the needles. And you know, half your battle is taken care of. And you know, it's just 2 sticks and string. It doesn't own you, you own it. You got this, right? You got it. You learned how to use the hook. You can definitely use the 2 sticks and a string. Yep. So, well, yeah, you know, give it a go on another day and everything. So it's not a big deal. I mean, it doesn't have to look a certain way. I remember being a little girl learning how to crochet with my mom. And my mom was like lightning fast. You know, I'm sitting there next to her as a little girl, and I'm watching her, and she's working through her projects. And I'm like, I'll never be as fast as you. Because, you know, I didn't believe that I would ever be able to do, you know, she didn't have to look. She didn't have to do any of the other stuff. And she just would just look at me and smile, you know, the virtual, you know, almost like patting me on the head, and said, oh, honey, one day you'll be faster than me. And it took a while, but she was right. I did surpass as far as speed with that. There were things that I could do that she couldn't do because my mom was also legally blind. But she made bedspreads. So, oh yeah, Lisa, definitely email Lori so then you can be part of the challenge. My mom made the crocheted roses, the big 3-dimensional crocheted roses, bedspreads. And then she would also quilt. Her quilts were beautiful, hand-sewn quilts. Everything wasn't by machine. Everything was hand-sewn. And people didn't believe that she couldn't see. She had tunnel vision. She had a eye disease, a hereditary eye disease called retinitis pigmentosa, which is RP. And it just caused severe tunnel vision, and then the tunnel got darker and darker, kind of like pinhole vision. So she could see a little bit. I think she was declared legally blind, I think, in 71. So, you know, just nothing for the eyesight as far as that goes. But she made some things, and she taught me a lot. Oh, Lori, is Kevin in Canada? You got another Canada player? Oh, I just saw that. Is that what it is? All right. So Lori is very cognizant too on all of this stuff since we're shipping things out. So she tries to make sure that it's as economical as possible. And if you didn't know it, Lori works in the post office. So she's also given quite a few good tips on postal service and how to get your packages from one part of the country to the other in the most economical fashion. So I have found that interesting. I may have been cussing at the post office a couple days ago. Yeah, it's a thing. I went to send something out to somebody in a padded envelope that was less than an ounce, and it cost $5.50 because it was more than a 1/4 inch tall. I was not pleased. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I mean, I could have put it in a, if it ships, it fits small box for an extra $5 and just stuffed it with everything. I mean, yeah, I was not happy. So I might have had some words for the post office and they weren't pleasant. I'm like, it's a thing, it happens. Because I got my package returned to me. It was in an envelope and I put stamps and everything on it because I thought, well, it's less than an ounce, it's an envelope, there you go. It got returned and it's like, oh no, you owe this much more. Okay. It's in the mail now, it's fine. But nothing personally against you, Lori, obviously, worked in the post office. My dad worked in the post office too. That's after he got out of the military. Yep, a lot of military folks go into the post office if they can. It's a thing. And that's where he was, yeah, that's where he was at. Yep. Lori has quite a few playlists on her channel too, and that's what she's talking about. She's talking about the playlists on her channel. So she has a playlist for easy patterns that she'll pick through. She'll go through YouTube and find things that sound interesting to her, and she'll add them to there, and you can go ahead and look at what she has. Tab that says playlist, that's where you'll find them. So on anyone else's channel, so we can also save things too. So Graham Cracker is going to go ahead and check out Lori's playlist and see if she can find some easier tutorials. Lori, did you see my tutorial for the little flowers? Did you see that one? So you can make some of those to add to all of your other things, your little embellishments. Oh. So you can check those things out. Yeah, it's fun times. Yeah, three rounds, Lori. This is 3-dimensional, right? It's just 3 rounds, very simple, very easy. So I've got a little tutorial on that, on how to make that. So you can just add them to anything you want to. I just made a bucket hat, so I wanted some embellishments on that. So I thought I would let everyone know how I did it, what I did. Thought I'd share. Seemed like a good idea, right? Okay, puppy. Okay. All right. Oh, Lori's letting us know that you can make your playlist public or private. So depending on, you know, I mean, if you're, well, that makes sense too, though. If you want to have all your crafting things around for everybody else, but then maybe, you know, your music selection you don't want to share or whatever it is that you're following, yeah, make a private playlist. That's just yours. That makes sense. Yeah. You know, for those that actually know how to make playlists. Okay. I just realized that. I didn't know. I really didn't know that I could have a playlist for saving videos for later. I really didn't know that, you know. Hey, Susan's back. Hi, Susan. I had to come inside because of the rain. It stopped raining, but I had to come inside. Yep. And Graham Cracker's saying that she just figured out the public-private a couple days ago herself. So we're all learning things, I guess. I mean, that makes sense, you know. Hey, puppy. Hey, puppy. Yeah, you little stinker. Okay. So I'm looking forward to starting something else. This, like I said, was quite aggressive. I want to get this done. I've got to pack up a box to send out to my partner. You see that button under my video that says save? Click that and it asks you where you want to save it to, so then you can save it to a playlist. Oh, thank you, Lori. I appreciate that. So you can save those to a playlist. That's kind of nice. Yeah, that works out well. All right. Lori, what are you working on? Since you just, okay. Did we talk about this? Lori is the host of the Mr. Yarn Challenge, and she just figured out that she doesn't actually have to play along. Ha, that's funny. Yeah, but you know, it's like, what? Play by the rules? So what are you working on now that you realize you don't actually have to play along? But I think it's been pretty fabulous. She's been leading by example. See, there you go. That's that leadership role. So Laura's saying it's been a year. It has been a year. She has jumped in and made all sorts of things. So a bag for your friends. So Laura's making a bag for her friend's birthday. Yeah. It's 8/4. Okay, so August 4th. Yeah, my birthday's the 13th. And Graham Cracker's birthday is the 2nd, I think is what you said. So hers is also in August. I think she said 2nd. So we've got a lot of August babies. Yep. And then we were discussing, yeah, I'm in my 50s. But, you know, come on, that makes sense. I did say I started crocheting like 40 plus years ago. So, You know, it's true. It's a thing. It's how that works. Yep, fun times. Fun times. Okay, so Grandma Carrie's saying that, yep, I did get it correct. It's August the 2nd, right? So we got a lot of August babies. Get the August babies. It makes us Leos, which you can tell. That isn't that what they say with the Leos is, you know, the hair, the big hair. I have really short hair now. My husband prefers my hair short. We met and my hair was short, but when I let my hair grow out, it's big. I can get this pretty big. It can go standing straight out. It is crazy in the morning. And he prefers it short because he doesn't like the big 80s hair. I like the big hair. Man, I'm telling you, I will get this thing out. I look like a Q-tip with red top. I mean, I will get it sticking straight up. And he's like, could you maybe like flatten a little? So he likes it when I go for a haircut. I had a pixie haircut for quite a while. And my niece has watched my videos and she's like, I don't like your haircut. Tell Aunt Shannon I don't like her haircut. She's like, I like it better the way it used to be. That's okay. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You know, and that's what the hairdresser says is that too, because I'll flip this up and everything and just let it go. And Kevin started doing his own hair and everything during the pandemic. My boss did too. He started doing his own hair during that time period. But I just, bye Kevin, it's been nice talking to you. I don't do a lot to my hair. I don't wear makeup. Every once in a while I'll put makeup on. I'm like a kid with a big old box of Crayola, right? The 64 colors, right? And I'm looking at it going, ooh, let's use all the colors. It's not really a good look. I'm not against other people wearing makeup. I personally never learned how to do it well. So it's not enhancing. Let's put it, it doesn't enhance. It's a little distracting. Like blush. The blurry videos are great. Hides a lot. I don't think I'm doing a blurry video. Hopefully I'm not. I don't know. But yep. So it's who prefers it long? It's gorgeous. Oh, you're talking about that. Nicole, I've had my hair long. Well, you've not seen me too much with long hair, but I used to have my hair really long and big and fluffy. Hubby prefers it short. That's just, you know, that's just what he likes. Yep. So Graham Crackers had luck in teaching her daughter how to crochet. My kids were not interested. I tried to get them interested. Let me see where my count is. I tried to get them interested. They weren't. I wanted somebody, I mean, I got a huge yarn room. I'm just saying. I wanted somebody interested. I do have the grandkids, so maybe they've all been indoctrinated that Nana's room is fun. So I find like, you know, I do have an actual yarn room now that's pretty cool. It's one of the nice things when you're grandparents and the kids are out of the house and stuff like that. You can take the rooms that used to be bedrooms and they are now your craft rooms. So I have a full room, always wanted it, that's just there. Yep, Lori's jumping around lots of things. But I have my full yarn room and I have the kids and they go in there and it's not baby proof. It is not child proof. Like I have this little case, right? Love this thing, right? And I don't know if I can set it up with us, but so you can see there's all sorts of notions in there. I've got stitch markers in there. I've got sewing darning needles. Some of them are blunt, some of them not so much. I mean, this is pretty blunt, right? It's one of those blunter sewing needles. So I've got all these types of things. They're down. They're kids' levels. I don't know how many times they have gotten that box or others with Sharper pens and dumped them on the floor as little children with little tiny hands. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Pick them up. So then they're picking up all the needles and their mom's sitting there next to them. And, you know, it's like, that's the rule. You can do that, but you just have to pick them up and they can play with it as far as that goes. But they know, they learn some healthy respect. Like even my older son, I had, like I said, this needle. Oh no, they didn't hurt themselves. But I had this needle and everything. And when he was younger, he was a have to learn it himself kind of thing. And I would say, no, ow, sharp. And of course they don't understand that. So I took his little hand and you can see that's a blunt needle. And then I would go like that and I would poke him and say sharp, ow. And he learned that word. But just to tell him no. It's the same with the stove. Hey, hot. Nope. He'd want to touch it. He'd want to do whatever. So baking cookies, you know how like the glass of the stove on the outside gets warmer. It's not burning hot, but it gets warmer. So I told him it was hot. I hadn't touched the glass. And he's like, ooh, ow, and pull away. And that's how he learned in a controlled situation. So we didn't do a lot of baby proofing. And like I said, all the kids are in there. They'll dump the needles out. We're there with them. I mean, we're supervising. It's like, all right, pick them all back up. So it's a good thing to teach them as far as that's concerned. You know, they haven't had any issues. No, you know, none of them tried to stick them in their mouth, so they're good. You know, minor details, right? No, don't stick it in your mouth. You're good. Hey, has anyone else here put something in a light socket, like a bobby pin? I did. One time. I knew I did something I wasn't supposed to do. It's true. Controlled risks is healthy. Yeah, Frenchie, you're right. So I remember as a little kid and everything, and this was, I was really little. I was just a little kid. But I remember I crawled and everything. I went behind the Christmas tree to get to the light socket, and I put a bobby pin in it. Only time I've ever done that. Yep, that shocked the crap out of me. I mean, and then I knew why I wasn't supposed to do it. But I knew I was doing something wrong. Otherwise, I wouldn't have crawled behind the Christmas tree where I wouldn't get caught doing it, right? I knew I was doing something that obviously an adult had told me, don't do that. And I did it anyway. And I'm telling you, one time's all it took. I have never stuck anything in a light socket again, except for an actual plug that's supposed to go in there, because that shocked the living crap out of me. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that just, whew, that was a lesson. That was a lesson. So if you can do some controlled risk for your kids, that's not a bad thing. I had to learn. I'm sure I was told not to do it. Pretty sure that's why I did it in secret. So, all right, have you ever stuck your tongue to a 9-volt then? Right? So Deborah's like, no, I've never stuck anything in a light socket. You put an ice cube in boiling. Oh, who told you to put an ice cube in boiling grease? Wow. What kind of damage did that cause? That just sounds horrible. What, did somebody dare you? Did you not know? Or, I mean, you just put a little bit of like condensation from the lid of a pan or whatever, and it gets in that grease and it goes nuts. But you threw an ice cube in grease? Oh, wow. That's not good. Like, who convinced you that was a good idea? Who said that was cool? Yeah, we've all done some crazy stuff, huh? Well, yeah, I've done that too. Lori's cooked naked bacon. I'm not gonna lie, I've done that too. Or I've cooked bacon in my tennis shoes. I just had tennis shoes on because, damn it, I wasn't gonna be barefoot and naked in the kitchen. There you go. There was no barefoot and naked in the kitchen. I had my tennis shoes on, and yes, I have cooked bacon naked. It's not the brightest of moves. But yeah, it's just, but I have my tennis shoes on, so there you go. So Graham Cracker says it was just her own idea. She wondered what would happen. It boiled over, and yeah, that was with the, and she called your mom. Yeah, does your mom help you out? Did your mom call you stupid, or or is that not a nice word? We taught our kids, cook bacon in the oven, problem solved. Okay, well, that's the wise way of doing it, right? So we have different phrases and everything for our kids. We taught our kids, stupid hurts and sometimes it will kill you. That's an actual phrase. And we said it so much as a common phrase. Our grandkids say it to each other now. We love them. But when our second child was in 2nd grade, and we talked to his school teacher and everything, said, look, if he says this to another kid, he is not to get in trouble. We will not punish him for this. And that they learned, if one of us said, stupid hurts, you didn't even have to say the whole phrase. They would start to get that look on their face like, uh-oh. Yeah, I've done that. When they've said that, I've done this thing before, and it always ends up bad. So I know that was kind of funny. Oh yeah, Graham Cracker lied when she told her mom what happened after putting the ice cube in the boiling grease. I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have done the same thing. Mom, help me, what do I do with this? That had to have been a mess. That had to have been a big mess to clean up. That's a lot of work. Yeah, but probably the last time you've ever done that. Ice cube and boiling grease. Oh no, no, just a drop of water in boiling grease is bad. That just pops everywhere and you end up with tattoos you didn't plan on. No, like, cooking bacon in the naked, right? Yep. So Susan had commented, I was trying to fish and I didn't have shoes on, and then she has a big scar on her foot for a 3rd-degree burn because of the, ooh. Oh, that's not good. I didn't know about that one, Susan. Nope. Yeah. My old boss said, you can't fix stupid. Still, see, we do that too. You can't fix stupid, and stupid hurts, and sometimes it'll kill you. And that right there, that phrase has been just such a savior to all 3 of the kids, adults now. We got the 5 grandkids, and it's the cutest thing when they say it to each other now. It's neat when you see this generation talk to the next generation. You're like, ooh, I did good, and then the fact that they're actually, good human beings and stuff. That's another one, right? Or the adult kids come home and everything, and the stories that they tell of what they remember as being children, and you're like, oh, I don't remember that, but wow, we did good. Just the things that sink in, the stories that they remember, the things that they tell each other. I'm like, oh, okay. We were just trying to stay awake. We were trying to keep them fed, keep them clothed, take care of them. I mean, we joke about it. It's not a joke. It is a joke, but our spoiled puppies that you saw running around and everything, we make their dog food now. Yes, Susan, I'm a convert. We make our freaking dog food. I know I made fun of you for an entire year. All right, got that out because she was going to call me out. So we make our own dog food. And it's rice and vegetables and whatever your protein is, whether it's chicken or beef, that's what I use. And it's a good looking stir fry, right? No salt and pepper in it and stuff like that, And so we've got that right there. And that has more meat in it, I swear, than what our kids ate when they were growing up. Not because we didn't love them, but we got them food. They could afford food, and we put food on the table. We did the best that we could, and we're in a different situation now. And then plus, we don't have teenagers to feed. But we do joke about that they get fed better than our kids did, but they lived. We did the best that we could. So what was it? Lori said, I must be scary because my son was afraid to tell me lots of things. I tell him if he survived, then why would I be mad? Oh, Susan put her tongue in a Christmas light to see what the electricity tasted like. Was it something like a 9-volt battery, Susan? And then Lori says, my brother told my sister to put her finger in with the electric mixer. Oh, it sounds like we're getting a little bit of hail. An electric mixer, and he did it. Oh, that's no, that's scary. That's bad. No, yeah, that's not good at all. So Lori, one of the reasons my kids tell me everything is when they were little, I said, will you talk to mommy? I'll tell you a story. Your friends don't know anything, right? They're your age. They don't know anything, especially like the birds and the bees and all that stuff. You talk to me and I will tell you everything. Yes, it'll probably embarrass me and, I'll turn red, but I'll talk to you. I will give you that information. Well, my middle son took that as a challenge. He has asked me a lot of questions that children probably shouldn't ask their parents, just to see if he could make me turn red. And he did. A lot. Or here's one. My oldest son, when he was about 9, he asked a question. One of the other kids at the bus stop had said something to him, and he wanted to ask me questions on it. And okay, that's good. He came to me, and he's like, Mom, Jimmy at the bus stop said boys can pee white. Is that true? Can boys pee white? Really? I don't remember the answer that I told him. I said something that obviously made him stop asking the question. But my husband was sitting next to me when he asked this question. He's working on a computer, and he feverishly started typing and just like, he asked you, he asked you, he asked you. I will always remember that. Mom, Can boys pee white? Yeah. I'm pretty sure I didn't give him the exact answer, but I told him something that made him stop questioning. But yeah, that's kids. Kids. Yeah, kids. At that inappropriate knitting note. I don't know. I mean, if you're a parent or a grandparent, or, you know, obviously if you're a grandparent, you're a parent, but, you know, aunt, uncle, etc., you got kids around, their stories. They say things. They say weird things. They do weird things. They do. You're like, dude, you know, I used to say when the kids were little, it's like they're geniuses. When that brain cell connects, when those brain cells all connect together, they're all geniuses. Right now, it's a little fragmented, right? My kids are fantastic. But it's when they're a certain age, their little brain cells and synapses, they're not firing on the same. They're just not. You know, and you know, it's like, how did we live? Well, for that matter, how do we live as a species? Have you ever been around a school? I mean, hello? Kids, you can hear them like 3 miles away. That screeching noise thing, how did we survive as a species? I don't get that. But yeah, kids say some crazy stuff. They ask some crazy questions. And Lori, that's why the kids actually came to me and talked to that, because it was a challenge. 100%. It's like, game on, Mom. Game on. I don't know what it was that spurred that on, but it was total game on. Let's try to embarrass Mom. I just try to be a good mom. Don't embarrass me like that. No, that was it. So I don't know. You might have gotten away with some things or gotten out of some things because of it. Yes. A beauty who crafts. That's exactly it. It was 100%. I mean, you know, I said something innocent, right? You know, that you're trying to be loving and deal with your kids and something along that line. Susan, who told you that facial hair was actually pubic hair? Who said that? Somebody said that to you? No. Really? Hi, Zinnia. Okay, but who? Kids are cruel. Kids are really, really mean. Somebody said that? That's, I mean, it's funny as an adult, but oh my gosh. Kids did that? Oh, poor thing. That's horrible. That's, No, kids were always, you know, they were bad and they were mean enough at everything as it was in school, you know, get the mean girl syndrome and what have you. And I don't know. I was never a popular kid. I was the one that was picked on and made fun of and all the other stuff and teased. Oh my gosh, right? Yeah, I just was not a popular kid. So being in school was, it was a thing. And then I had my crocheting with me, right? So I'm 10, 11 years old, and I've got a little ball of yarn and a crochet hook and everything when it was like recess time or something along that line. I had my crocheting with me. So, you know, I got teased for that too. And my mom, she would say, don't worry about anything that they say. You just tell them, I'm practicing to be an old lady. I did it. I'm here. I got that down. You know, but no, it wasn't really the ginger thing. I think part of it was I was adopted when I was 10 years old, and that's when I got my mom and dad. That's my mom and dad, straight up. So I was adopted at 10 and moved into a small town, and I just wasn't, I wasn't born and raised there. I didn't fit in as far as that goes. I was the different kid. Anyone who's gone through foster care and adoption, you don't go through unscarred. We can just put it like that, right? So, you know, there were just some things that were just different as far as that goes. And kids are ruthless. They are just absolutely ruthless. And, you know, and it's kind of like shark smelling blood in the water. You have any weakness at all, they're just not going to let go. And it was just a different time. It was just a different time period and everything. I think, you know, going through childhood now as an adult with the different attitudes, I'm like, why did we care what somebody else said or anything along that line? But as kids, you do. Why in teenage years did we care about the mean girls? They're stupid. But as kids, we sure did, you know. Oh, I want to be with the popular kid. Why? Be yourself. Well, you know that now as an adult, but at kids, you just wanted to be part of the group. And I was never part of that group. So it's just differences. So no, it had nothing to do with the hair. It was just, you know, kids, you get a label, you get something, you know, and that's all there is to it. I don't know what it is that gravitates everyone towards one child, be boy or girl, it doesn't really matter. You know, one kid's popular and the other just, everyone's like 10-foot pole, you know, yeah. I've never understood that, so I don't know. I was always called names, so it's the thing. So what was that? Let's see, doing great. Sorry. Kids, it sounds like you did tell them a lot of things. Yeah, I did. Yep. My mama was a ginger, my brother is a ginger, gorgeous. Thank you. Yep. So, I don't know, just differences, that's all. My daughter always wanted me to dye my hair blonde so I would look like them. All my kids came out very, very blonde, platinum blonde. My husband was very, very blonde when we first met. It's brown, or well, he's bald now, but you know, it's brown. Or my daughter was the platinum bleached blonde, and that was natural. And she started putting low lights in it when she was younger and everything, and now she's got more of the dirty blonde. And yeah, she's gorgeous. I mean, come on, she's gorgeous, right? I'm biased. I'm not even gonna tell you I'm not biased, because that's a lie. I am totally biased. My children are beautiful, and so are my grandkids. That's just how that works, right? Yep. Yeah, Lori, they've got lots of different colors out there. Red is a hard one to hold on to for a lot of people. The hair follicles, hairdressers will tell you that. Red's a hard color. You can get it. It's kind of like all the crazy colors that people put in their hair now, you know, the blues, the this, that, and everything else. I mean, you can put it in there, but it fades fast, and red is definitely one of those colors that fades really, really fast. Not a lot of people, even with the hair dyes, can deal with the red. Yep. It's glad to see you embrace your hair. I always felt sad my hair wasn't red. And that's Angel Renee saying, I always felt sad that her hair wasn't red, but my second baby has blonde hair. Yeah, all mine came out blonde. When I was doing strawberry blonde, I ended up with blonde after a few weeks. Yeah, Lori, that's like I said, every hairdresser I've ever talked to has said the same thing. People want the red hair, and they can't hold it. It just, you know, it looks fantastic for that 2 weeks. And then, like you said, it's that strawberry blonde or it's something else and it's lighter. Yeah, the hair follicles are that way. My dad was a dark auburn. I have a few strands of it in my very dark red hair. Yeah, and my husband has, when he has the mustache coming in, the blonde, has a little bit of that strawberry blonde color. When all my kids came out bald, but when the oldest one was getting that peach fuzz, you know, and you're not sure what color it's gonna be, we weren't sure if it was gonna be blonde, brown, or red, because he had like a few strands of each, you know, it was kind of weird. All of them are blonde. All of them are blonde. I mean, it's brown now because he's 30, but as younger, they were all blonde, and daughter held it the longest. Yep. So yeah, I'm not sure, you know, I'm gonna probably keep color and everything else like that until I feel like I want gray to come in permanently. I'm holding off on that. People don't guess my age as it is, so I'm gonna keep it that way. It's just the way I look at it. I get that. Say, what, you're a grandma? Yeah, I got 5 grandkids. Yes, I have 5 grandkids, and they're perfect. Again, biased, right? And if you have grandkids, you should feel the same way. That's just how that works. Okay, so it's like, Graham Cracker's been going gray since she was 15. And Angel Renee says, my brother's hair is getting brown and my mom's did turn brown. It always made me self-conscious because we are Mexican, but I looked adopted next to my mom and my brother. I just color for fun now. Well, Angel, there's nothing wrong with being adopted. I was adopted. You know, I got to pick my family, right? So that just made it even better. It's all outlook. You know, we look at things one way or the other. It's outlook. Everything's your attitude. And a Beauty Who Crafts says, my youngest was born bald and then went from strawberry blonde to sandy blonde, and now at 27, she's a dirty blonde. Yeah, I get it. Angel, you're right. Yeah, we were discussing that. I'm definitely in my 50s. I don't know. I think I'm turning 54. Yeah, I think I'm turning 54 in a couple weeks. Yep. And then my oldest one, he had the prettiest ringlet curls, blonde ringlet curls, the longest eyelashes. And of course, you know, everyone thought he was a girl. Everyone thought my boys were a girl, and everyone thought my girl was a boy. It's just the weirdest thing, whatever. I just took it as a compliment. You said I had a beautiful baby. At a certain age, they look unisex. Unless you take off the diapers, and it's pretty obvious. But he had the prettiest curls, blonde curls, big blue eyes, eyelashes that would make any woman today jealous, right? And when he got his hair cut, of course, he lost the curl and didn't come back. Well, his hair's to here now, and he's got the ringlet curls. So as shorter, it wasn't curly at all, right? But down to here, it's just the biggest ringlet curls. So his curls are back. So I thought that was cool. Yep. And a Beauty Who Crafts is also saying perceptive is a key when it's positive. And Graham Cracker has 11 grandkids, and she'll be 62 next week. Congratulations. Yeah, I'll be 54 just right after you. And all of that stuff for me, as far as the attitude, is I've lived negative long enough. You know, whatever. You know, fill in the blank, something, you know, worrying about tomorrow, worrying. What does that get you? Nothing. Worrying a ton just gets you wrinkles, right? It gets you worried. But have you ever solved anything by worrying? Has worrying ever made anything better? You know, did you ever go, well, if I worried for an extra hour, I'm sure things would have been better? No. But we do it. And it took, into my 50s before I realized that's a stupid use of my time. I know we're not supposed to use stupid, evidently. For little kids, that's like a cuss word. Whatever. But, like, it was like a light bulb moment. You know, I have control over whether I worry. What? You mean I can make this into a good situation just by changing my attitude? Yep, sure can. That's that lemons into lemonade kind of thing that people talk about. It's like, holy cow. I'm telling you, I've been so much happier since then. Well, that and I retired from the military. But yeah, it is. That's part of it. But it's change of attitude. It really is how you look at things. What's your perspective? So yeah, that's one of the things that I do. So attitude is huge. I'm trying to read that. Let's see. Angel Renee says, I love your attitude, always so positive. I worry a lot, and said, nope, never made anything better. You're right. And Deborah says, I'm 62 with no grandkids. Oh, I'm sorry. That's just me, because I'm like, hey, they're fantastic, right? One daughter, late in life, so I may not see any grands for a while. I have 2 great nephews, though. Okay, so you have kids around. That's cool. And Graham Cracker says, yep, woohoo! I get to spend a week with 2 of my youngest grands next week. It is crazy how different it is when you go from parent to grandparent. I was with my daughter, well, so was her husband. It wasn't just me, right? I was with her when she gave birth to our first grandchild. I was right there in the room, and it was, you know, people talk about it, the miracle birth and everything else, but just to see that, we know how it is to be a parent, and seeing the grandchild born, it was just like that on steroids. I didn't realize that was even a thing. It was beautiful. It was just, that's my baby, you know? I'm like, oh, and I got to, one of the first people, you know, besides mom and dad, of course, that got to hold her and touch her. It was just such a beautiful moment. You know, I'm like, that's, I think they say, like, we have chemical reactions in our bodies and everything for bonding and being right there. I mean, I don't know, I got hit with them. I'm not really sure, but that was just the most beautiful babe. Well, she was close, but my son was definitely the most beautiful baby, my opinion. But she was so perfect and just absolutely beautiful. And if you're familiar with the way that they rate babies, right? And when they're in the hospital, they have an APGAR score. I don't know what it stands for, but it's something where they're coloring their health, their this, it's all sorts of stuff. Well, I'm in Colorado, high altitude. Lori, being in Utah, same situation. So high altitude, you don't get above a 9 because it's the coloring and everything. It's just a bunch of scoring everything. My baby was a 9. She came out, she's beautiful. Now her little brother, on the other hand, he came out, that child was purple. We all gasped. I'm not gonna lie, it's not a nice thing to do. We gasped, but you know, like what's, you know, because we had her and she was just beautiful coloring and everything's perfect. And then when he comes out, we're like, he's purple, and he was like purple, and he was covered with that white gross stuff, and she wasn't, you know, so we didn't know that was just like, oh, wait, so they don't all come out beautiful. I'm just saying some need a little more air than others. He's gorgeous. He just needed some air. But, but anyway, Angel has to go. So I got to go to CVS before they close. Yep, I get that. Go get your go get whatever it is you're getting. But yeah, so those are just some of the funds and everything. I've been on here for a while. Everyone has been so patient with me. This has been a joy, but I need to go cook dinner. I think my husband's hungry. My son came home. I should probably go feed us, right? I do all the cooking, but I tell you what, I'm blessed. My husband packs my lunch every day. He's retired. He packs my lunch every day. He gets my coffee ready for me in the morning. He does all of that stuff. I am blessed. It is absolutely amazing. So if I want to have food for him to pack, I need to make dinner so then he can take care of everything. So it's a dual thing. It has been so much fun talking with everybody, and thank you. And I hope to do this again. This has been a blast. And Lori, get in touch with me so we can work on, if you want to do a live with me, we can do a live. I think that sounds fun, but yeah, you might not want to, but I'm interested in doing a live with you. You might not want to with me, but I'd like to with you. Just let me know. All right. I'll talk to everyone later. Bye, everyone. You have a good night. I learned how to do this. Let's see. There we go. Oh, did I do it? Nope. Wrong button. There we go. Bye, everyone.